there, beautiful people. You're listening to Cast Ripple by Carla Berger from Cape Town, South Africa. Hello friends, and welcome to the next episode of Cast Ripple. Cast a Ripple and Be a Ripple is a space where I like to share what I like to call life-enhancing tools that absolutely anybody can use to better improve the experiences of their day-to-day lives. Today, what I want to talk to you about is something that's very intricate to Be a Ripple or Cast a Ripple. It's the whole reason why I started Be a Ripple and Cast a Ripple, and that is for sharing. Sharing is such a beneficial tool that we can use and that we all have access to in order to improve our experiences. The reason why I use this interface to share my journey with you guys is because through sharing my experiences, my thoughts, my emotions, I learn more about whatever I'm sharing about. So through sharing about sharing, I learn more about sharing. Through sharing whatever tools I discover along my route, I get to know those tools even better, in the sense that through learning how to communicate about a specific tool, learning how to put a specific tool into words, learning about how to describe a certain tool and to explain it in a way that others can understand it, I myself learn more about that tool. So sharing is such a basic but such a powerful tool that any of us can use to better improve our quality of life. So sharing is, for Be a Ripple and Cast a Ripple, a very important aspect, because I usually, the tools that I share are tools that I myself know very deeply. And when I share or talk about a tool, it's not something that I stumbled upon a week ago or even a month ago. It's something that I've been practicing for a while, and the realization of that practice has come into my reality, and I've seen the benefits, I've reaped the benefits, and I therefore want to share with you guys what the tools are. So sharing, for me, for Be a Ripple and Cast a Ripple, is important and has always been important. But sharing for any individual human being is also important. If you can just think about what sharing does in terms of a friendship, how you communicate or share things with your family or your friends, whether it's sharing in terms of telling them a story, telling them your emotions, telling them your thoughts, or if it's sharing in terms of spending time with them or sharing a specific moment with them. Sharing our lives and sharing emotions is an intricate part of our biological setup. We are biologically made to be social creatures, to be thriving off connection. It's so important for us, the connection part of being a human being, in that it surpasses the basic needs in terms of being fed well or being to sleep well, or all of the other basic needs that you as a physical human have. Communication or connection actually surpasses that. So that's why sharing is such an important tool for us, because it is the most basic tool or basic human need that there is. That sense of community, that sense of connection that sharing brings. So there's a bunch of ways that you can share, like I said, with friends or family, but you can also be sharing to yourself through journaling or through whatever way there is for that you process your emotions, meditating or journaling, like I said. So journaling is, in a sense, you connecting to yourself, you communicating to yourself, you sharing towards yourself. So if you want to learn more about journaling, there's a bunch of content that I've already done on it. You can go watch this couch talk about intention setting journaling, and that was also in collaboration with Cranky Cranium. We did a whole series about journaling, so you can go watch out for those posts on Instagram. And then there's also episode 5. Can you even imagine going that far back? Listening to my podcast, episode 5, which I did on journaling as well. So that's a form of self-sharing, of sharing yourself and delving deeper into yourself, right? Then you've got sharing on a community platform. So me sharing these things on Be a Ripple and Cast a Ripple to like-minded people, not necessarily people that I know, but it's a sense of a community setup. So sharing helps us feel connected in terms of a community, in terms of a tribe, even if it is people that we don't really personally know that well. It is a group of like-minded people that share common interests. So sharing in terms of a community platform is also a great way to share. Then you've got sharing personally with friends and family, like I already said, delving into something that you want to get off of your chest. You know, sometimes you hear about something, or you realize something, or something happens to you, and you just have that deep need to share it with someone, to tell someone what happened. If it's whether it's a horrible thing that happened to you or a great thing that happened to you, you have that intrinsic need to share that with someone, to get it off your chest. So that's another way of sharing. And then there's also the more professional way of sharing, like going to a therapist. It's so important, guys. I cannot stress this enough. There is absolutely nothing wrong with going to a therapist. There's this stigma around therapy, about mental health, that is so bad, and we need to break that stigma. And the only way to break that stigma is to start seeing mental health in a positive way. Talking about mental health is so important. Being able to see that mental health is the same as physical health. Being in bad mental health does not mean that you are broken. It just means that you need a bit of extra help. The same way, being in bad physical health just means that you need to go to the doctor. And it doesn't even mean that you only go to see a therapist when you are feeling that you are in bad mental health. The same way we go to the doctor or the dentist for checkups, the same way you can go to a therapist for checkups. Just to touch base with someone that is a third party to your life. It's someone that can look from the outside in while you are sharing things. It's someone that is not as invested in your life than your friends and your family. So it's great to share with friends and family, but you must remember that they have a very intrinsic role in your life. They are very involved and invested in your life. So they are not people that can give you advice without having a vested interest in the outcome. A therapist is a third party to your life. They can look from the outside in with the information you're giving and allow themselves to give you the best possible advice and allow you a space where you can share openly without fear of rejection, which is seldom the case when we are sharing with our friends or our family. So why is it so difficult to share sometimes? And that's the thing, right? can be so difficult to share, because sharing requires a certain level of vulnerability. It requires honesty from ourselves. Not just being honest with other people, but more so being honest with ourselves. And being honest with ourselves can sometimes be really, really scary, because being honest with ourselves comes at a certain level of authenticity where sometimes, honestly speaking, we might desire things that, say, society won't deem acceptable. And that's scary. So we get stuck in this space where we conform to society's requirements, to society's standards, without being authentic towards ourselves. So that's why sharing can sometimes be so difficult, because we feel that we can't be honest with other people or even to ourselves because of the fear of rejection, because of the fear of that what we want or what we desire or thinking or feeling is not acceptable in societal standards. So there's a level of vulnerability, and a lot of people believe that vulnerability is a weakness, when actually vulnerability is quite literally the opposite. If you want to learn more or hear more about vulnerability, go check out my podcast on that. That's podcast Cast a Ripple episode 40. Feel free to go and listen, give that one a listen or a watch. Remember, you can, all of my latest episodes from synchronicities through to present are on YouTube, as well as on all the podcasts platforms. So feel free to go and watch the latest ones on YouTube as well, if you are into the visual element of this all. So vulnerability, that is what makes sharing so difficult sometimes. But it's important for us to share, because it really gives us a sense of connection to other people. It also gives us a sense of connection with ourselves. It opens up opportunities for us to see things in a different light, in a different perspective, from a different angle. If we share with someone, you kind of soundboard with them. You use them as a soundboard to understand what it is that you're thinking and feeling, and then maybe receiving some input from their side, some angle that you can't see because it's in your blind spot, right? So they help to reflect back to you something that you might be missing, something that you can't see because there's something covering that up, like a blind spot. So it's a very good form of reflection for you. And it can help you clarify confusion that you might be having about a specific decision. It can help you to get towards your desires, what you really, really want in life. And it can help you get closer to not only yourself, but to your friends and your family, your community, your soul tribe, moving more towards your authenticity and away from your ego. It's about experiencing self, sharing, because we are all put on this earth not as a single person living a lone life. Like I said, biologically, we are rigged to be social creatures. But from a spiritual standpoint also, we are here to experience self. And experiencing self requires other selves also experiencing themselves. It's all about this mirror. It's all about this life and experiencing it and reflecting ourselves back to ourselves, back to ourselves. And that's what makes sharing so beautiful. You can go and watch my couch talk on experiencing self, which is also very interesting. I hope you enjoy it. I think that's it for today. I've covered basically everything about sharing, and I hope you understand now why I share. I just love to do it because, like I said, it helps me learn more about the tools, and hopefully it helps you to open up the doors on your side as well. Okay, my loves, that's it for this week. I will chat to you guys again in a week's time. Remember to subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram, b_a_ripple, and check out my website for links to all of my content. All my love. Bye.